In today's episode, we catch some Mexican wrestling, learn how to drink tequila, and get lost in an underground maze of a city. My wife and I are on a motorcycle trip through Mexico, Central, and South America, exploring cultures and food. So bring an appetite for adventure because we're hungry riders.
So we left Zacatecas to head to Guadalajara, and it was our first real taste of Mexican jungle as opposed to the deserts and forests that we'd seen before.
And on the way to Guadalajara, as we're getting closer, we started passing through blue agave fields,
Fields and fields of agave.
which means we're getting close to tequila country.
Yep.
But we had to wait until we got to Guadalajara.
Yeah,
to
they don't
tastings.
actually do tours of the farms like you would in Napa. You could just stop at the vineyards that you see. You can't really do that, so we had to wait till we were in Guadalajara, and we found a distillery called Tequilas del Señor, and they make several different kinds of tequila. So we got a brief history lesson, took a tour of the factory, saw how it was made.
We got to taste some directly from the vat. It's the silver or blanco.
Before it's been aged, before it's even really finished processing.
And it's 58% alcohol. That was
just
to get us warmed up.
It was warm too.
And after that, they took us to the tasting room, which was full of the aging barrels, similar to what they'd use for wine. Actually, it's
French oak apparently is the preferred type of wood for tequila, just like it is for wine. Who knew? And so then we also got a little lesson on how to properly smell and to taste tequila. And it actually works.
Yeah, it's not just a gimmick. You can actually get something from it. So go try it at home.
And the correct way of smelling is opening your mouth. Let the glass rest on your upper lip. Inhale first through your nose, opening your mouth slowly. And you'll see the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you do it closing your mouth, without opening your mouth, you'll see the difference. Just like you did the first time. When you close your mouth, alcohol doesn't have an escape route, and it smells like straight alcohol.
Yeah,
and once you open your mouth,
yes,
the alcohol will escape, and your taste buds will register these smells. Now, the correct way of drinking tequila is not in a shot. We're gonna do a small exercise similar to wine. Take a small sip, just enough to swirl around, about 3 seconds, and then we're gonna swallow it. And we'll wait 1 minute before we take the second sip. You guys ready?
Sure.
Salud. Now that burn you felt in your taste buds, in your mouth, that's why the shot glass is not good at all. This will send that burn straight to your throat, burning your throat. That's why this is not recommended at all. You will never get used to that. And the way we drink it right now, you are gonna get used to it. We'll give it about 1 minute. We'll give the taste buds a second to impregnate, and they get used to this taste. Now what does that mean? This is not gonna burn no more. But again, the white tequila is always supposed to burn. Either white or silver is the same thing. There's nothing difference. Just the name changes on the bottle. Either white or silver is supposed to burn by law. The more punch it has behind it, it's a higher quality.
And while we were tasting, they offered us a chance to try a $400 bottle of tequila.
Just a shot of it.
And it was, basically it was super aged. It was like aged over 3 years.
Whereas most tequila is like 1 year.
And it was, very different flavor. It was good. I don't know if it's $400 good.
Yeah.
I would never buy a bottle that expensive.
Right.
But
not quite worth the price.
It was an interesting experience. So our host from Couchsurfing, when we asked them about the regional dish in Guadalajara, highly recommended carne en su jugo, which is basically it's a shallow dish with kind of like a broth or almost like a stew. It has the meat from the neck of the cow, and then as they serve it, they add fresh vegetables like onion and cilantro, and they also put some beans in it. And it was kind of a familiar flavor to me because it very much tasted like the Vietnamese pho, except without the vermicelli noodles.
Beans instead.
Beans, yeah, it had beans instead. But yeah, it was really good, and you could doctor it up as you like to make it spicy.
Yeah.
And it was a good taste.
It was.
And
then for dessert, we walked around Tlaquepaque, which is the suburb where we were staying next to Guadalajara, and we saw them making churros from scratch, which meant we, of course, had to try one.
Yeah, you're stretching out the dough like 6 feet long.
Longer than that even.
Yeah.
Super long.
And they fry them up really, really fresh, and then you actually just pay by however long a section that you want with it. It was between like 7 pesos and 15 pesos.
Yeah.
And this was actually technically churro rellenos.
Right.
And relleno is kind of like a chili relleno, except they basically stuff it with chocolate or caramel.
Relleno means stuffed.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly stuffed. They kind of slice it open in the middle and then put stuff in the middle. So it wasn't like encased completely, but it was still very good. Very good.
And after that, we wanted to take in one of the cultural icons of Mexico. In addition to tequila, Guadalajara is also known for its Lucha Libre.
We even stayed an extra day just so that we could catch Lucha Libre. Sunday night, it's on 2 days of the week, and Sunday is family night, so we didn't want to go then. So we went on Tuesday night, which is apparently the more fun night.
It's non-family night.
Apparently.
Apparently, if you want to learn some new words in Spanish, particularly swear words,
that's the place to do
Lucha
it.
Libre is a really good place to do that.
And the tickets were fairly cheap too. It was only about $10,
And that was like for like the best seats in the house, too,
Right.
type of thing. Like we were 3 seats back from ringside.
yeah, we were in the front section.
Yeah.
And the arena is divided into 4 sections, and it was literally 75 cents difference in ticket price between the 4 sections.
But yet, so there's not that much difference between the
price.
ticket prices. Yet they divide the arena into 2 sections.
There's a fence, a literal fence
Yeah.
between the two.
So there's basically the rich section and the poor section.
Yeah.
And the crowd is encouraged to basically yell and taunt
At
each other.
Not only do they
Yeah.
yell at the luchadors, at the wrestlers, but they yell at each other. You know,
And it
you're
was,
so poor, you have to take the bus home.
even though we took the bus to get there, and we're in the rich section. But yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, and the wrestling itself was very, very fun to watch. It's really just like hardcore gymnastics.
In tights.
In tights,
Or underwear.
in masks.
Yeah, in masks.
It's very
But
similar.
only the masks sometimes.
Right, they actually don't all wear masks. Apparently, if you lose a match, I'm not sure exactly how this works, but sometimes you can lose your mask.
And like it's taken from you and you have to fight to get it back or
as a
something.
penalty, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I'm glad we made the extra time to see Lucha Libre. And if you've never experienced it, it's worth seeing at least once.
It's kind of like WWE or WWF, but they don't take themselves as seriously, so that makes it more fun. Personally, I think. Not that we're really wrestling fans in general, but.
So after Guadalajara, we went to Guanajuato, which was one of the destination cities that we mapped out early on our trip. And we heard about it because it's supposed to be this really crazy maze labyrinth of a city.
It really is. Because apparently, some time ago, they decided that the city was so dense, there was no room for cars to move around. So they hollowed out, or they didn't hollow out, they converted the underground water canals that distributed water throughout the city and turned them into roadways. And then built more canals underneath that for the water.
But so the city's actually on 2 levels, the underground level and the surface level.
Right.
Which makes it very difficult to navigate, especially with a GPS.
Well, with any map, because
Yeah.
the maps don't differentiate which are tunnel roads and which are above ground roads. And if you're underground, my GPS loses reception.
So, you know, we mapped out, like, oh, we're going to stay in this particular hotel, you know, before we got there, downtown, nice and close. Except when we tried to go to it, it's like up 3 flights of stairs,
Right,
which isn't something we're going to be able to do on the bikes.
Because the road that it's on, the stairs are a road. So on the map, it looks like it's a road, but you can't turn on it because it's up.
So it's one of my worst case scenarios as far as traveling. Like you get somewhere thinking you have a place to sleep, it's starting to get late, and you can't find one.
Yeah.
Mostly we needed a place to park our motorcycles.
Right, because like we said, the city was so dense that also means that nobody really has extra space. Even for the limited space that we need for the bikes, it's not available.
So we drove around for pretty much like an hour and a half, asking at a bunch of different hotels, and we couldn't find a place that could accommodate us. And I guess part of the reasons that there's some guys there that are basically standing out on the corner with a card that says tourist information. And so
they have maps and hotel info.
So we finally pulled over and talked to one, and it's like, oh sure, like there's a couple places I could take you to
I'll show you where they are.
Yeah, so he just hopped on the back of the bike and he took us directly there, and it totally worked out. We found a great place to stay.
Yeah, we found a good place to park our bikes, a secure location.
And we met, there was a very nice, it was a hostel again, we met a nice lady there, and she recommended that we try
Enchiladas mineras.
which is, this is a mining town,
Right.
and you know, if you have enchiladas, how can you make it more hearty and, you know, for a miner that needs all the energy, more carbs?
Let's find out.
A lot of the towns and regions that we've been through so far, they claim enchiladas as like their own regional specialty, but I found a lot of them to be quite similar, maybe a slight twist. But this one actually seems like it's quite different because it's with potatoes and carrots. This one has you know, some chicken on the side. You can also have it stuffed with it, but it's supposed to be a bit different, and we'll go to try and see how it is. Yep, it's enchiladas. A little bit spicy, but with potatoes and carrots. So one of the other things we wanted to do while we were in Guanajuato was get started on our volunteer efforts. So we're traveling through Mexico and we're currently in Guanajuato, and we want to do some volunteering as we travel all the way south to Argentina. And one of the foundations that we found was Muskoka Foundation, and I'm currently here with Katie Clancy, who is the local partner here at Guanajuato and also works for Muskoka. And can you tell me about what Muskoka is and how it works?
Sure can. The basic principles of Muskoka is that we operate as a network of basically 3 entities. We are overland travelers that are interested in volunteering, like Aaron and Serafina. We are then Muskoka, which is a collective of individuals working to connect travelers to the 3rd entity, which is local organizations. So within the framework of Muskoka, what we like to do is create alliances between existing local partners, which are organizations throughout the world, working with families, children, and communities, to travelers like yourself that are interested in volunteering and actually sharing skills. The idea that we're really focused on is skill transfer, creating genuine opportunity for travelers to use their own skills and their own experiences, knowledge base, to connect to local communities and help them in a genuine and authentic way. So that's our goal.
And so what we're going to be doing for volunteering as we travel through all the local partners, through Muskoka, through Latin America, is to make videos highlighting the type of works that Muskoka is doing and the local partners are working on. So in the next episode, we're going to head to Puebla and learn how to make mole from scratch.
But until then, if you have any feedback, you can send us an email to feedback@hungrywriters.com or tweet us at twitter.com/hungrywriters.
And please like us on Facebook at facebook.com/hungrywriters. And also, please subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/hungrywriters.
And of course, our website with everything is hungrywriters.com. See you next time.
¿Nombres?
Sí. Es de primera, mediano, ¿es importante o es...?
No.